All right, what's going on, guys? So we back at the gym today. Didn't record last Sunday. It was a deload week. Y'all ain't need to see none of that. But we back now, 2 weeks out. Less than 2 weeks out because it's Sunday technically, so 13 days. We got a 305 kg single for squat today, which is 672. Nothing crazy, but the goal is to make it look like a RP6. And then on bench, we got 3 singles with 187.5, which is 413. And we're gonna make that move. All week's been good, so it was a week 1 of the peak and taper. Everything moved smoothly. I feel really good, and we're gonna get to work today. The goal is, as my weight starts to go down, to try to keep my technique up and my skill high, so I can not drop like I did at Nationals. So at Nationals, like what I mean by that is at Nationals, the number one thing my coach talked to me about was as we were peaking up in that competition, like my skill went out the water, like everything wasn't good as soon as I got down to weight. Because usually I'll water cut about 10 pounds. So the biggest focus today, being that I'm at my lightest I've been all prep, is to make sure that everything stays right. So besides that, that's enough yapping. I'm gonna let Alex take over from here and y'all gonna see it. So we got 3 reps on the bar right now. It got me thinking, this time last year, this was a week 4 single. This time this year, it's not even the last warm-up. All right, so just finished up the workout. Ended up hitting the 305 or 672 on squat. It did move good. Didn't feel as good as I wanted it to, but at the end of the day, I am cutting weight. Didn't have as many carbs as I should have yesterday, but that's on me. But it moved how it should have moved. Bench had 187.5 or 414 for 3 singles, which was really smooth, super excited. That's probably about where my opener is gonna be, around 187.5 to 190 with the competition in a couple weeks. So I'm really excited for that. Right now, as planned, because I don't think I've talked about this, we're looking at 357.5 on squat or 789. It's gonna be 207 to 210 on bench, which is 457 to 462. And then on deadlift, we're going for the 300 again, or 661. So we're gonna keep working, build up on that total. Only got a few more sessions. I think it's 7 more total sessions left and 13 more days. So we're gonna keep grinding, and I'm gonna see y'all on Sunday next week. All right, what's going on, guys? So I didn't do an intro video, so I'm gonna do like a little outro video, because y'all get an intro from me in the gym with Alex. So overall, a good training day. Definitely not as good as it could have been. That's just me being really critical, because I want things to fall how I believe they should fall. But at the end of the day, as an athlete,
I have to look at some things and ask myself, did I do this to my best capabilities? And I would say I think last night and today I didn't. So I got to keep those things in check. But we're all human, and I can have all the excuses in the world, but I got to do what I got to do. So with that being said, I am at my lightest body weight. I did mention that in the video. I was 318 this morning. So super exciting because I'm still drinking a ton of water. I'm eating good. I'm obviously in a deficit, but I'm still high on protein. I was a little higher on fats yesterday than normal, so that caused me to have less calories. Or not less calories, less carbs. So, that does affect training a little bit. I say a little bit, but that's a big part because that's my fuel. But at the end of the day, still got it in. It visually, the 305 looked really good. It didn't feel great on my back, but it didn't feel heavy. It just felt awkward. But that can come with body weight loss and just water, me not having as much water weight on me. So there are a couple things I am going to take in a check because I think every prep you got to take yourself out of, where you're at. Because, things are going really good. I am a lot stronger than I've ever been. There is a little bit of performance anxiety. Obviously I do want to put that to, on the platform and show everyone that I've gotten a lot stronger. But I got to take myself out of this position in an unbiased look and say, what are some things that I could do better? And even 2 weeks out, there are some things that I have in check. So the main thing is I want to keep my body weight in check a little bit more. Now, it's been really difficult, I will say. Now, I'm not going to sit here and lay out all these excuses, but it has been really difficult with me being where I work at and then basically training over here half the time and training over there half the time, bouncing back and forth. Could I do a lot better with that? Yeah. I will say at one point when I was over there with Brandon, my little brother, we were buying meal prep and had it in stock, so I could always carry it wherever I was at. But since he's left and things have changed, I just haven't had a way to budget that in. But I will say I am happy when I move back here in the spring after the school semester that I will be getting back on those things because I'll be making a lot more money and I will have the resources to be able to do those things because on the coast there's just a lot more resources for that. And I'll be closer to the main gym that I train at, which will be exciting. So I do know I just got to give myself a couple months, and that'll be at the right time because I'll be in the midst of my last 6 to 8 weeks of training, so that'll be really exciting. And then I'll really be moved back in the last 3 to 4 weeks of training into national, so I'll really be able to lock in and not have to worry about paying rent over there and being over here and things like that. So anyway, with that all being said, that's the main thing. I want to keep my body weight in check, and I know what I need to do. So knowing that at this competition I'm going to cut down to be around 308, and then once I refeed and rehydrate, I'll probably be back up to 314 or 315. I want to try to stay at that body weight between 310 and 315 the remaining month, and then see if, all it would take would be a little fast, at the end of the week to cut that weight. So kind of what I'm looking at. Some people do a gut cut. I know that'd be a good option. So anyway, that's the main thing. The second thing is I want to get back on the vitamins and supplements that I was always taking. So I always did omega 3s, magnesium, D3, and which the magnesium one was a three-way vitamin. It was magnesium, zinc, and calcium. I'm pretty sure. Calcium might not be right, but that was for joint. Oh, and extra strength turmeric. So for joint health, and then my creatine. I have not been doing that for a good bit of time now, not since this time last year. So I do want to get back on that, which that's super easy. Buy that kind of stuff as soon as this prep's over and lock back in. But yeah, so those are some things that I need to do. And then the last thing is just hold myself more accountable on sleep. I do think that for the most part, I get the sleep that I need to get in, but am I getting the most optimal sleep? Not all the times. I think for the majority of the week I get good sleep in, a lot of sleep to recover, but you got to start looking deeper into the deep sleep and the REM sleep and things like that. And do I always get that every night? No. And I do think that kind of can come with, I want to go to a doctor, a sleep doctor, and get a study and see if I need a CPAP or some way to help with oxygen, which not because I think I'm, sick or anything like that, or there's something wrong with me. I'm just a larger human being, and laying down on my back or on my side is going to collapse because I just have so much mass. So having oxygen being pumped into my body is just going to make it easier for me to sleep. Because I can wake up and not feel rested, but know that I had like anywhere between 7 to 9 hours of sleep. It's just one of the things that I think I'm gonna look into whenever I move back down here. So, just a few things that I'm airing out, just being honest with you guys, because I can do better. And the crazy thing is knowing that I can do better, and I'm fixing to have one of my best all-time totals in my entire life, and PR on all 3 of my lists potentially, is the most insane thing in the world to me. I think Rondell Hunt said something. If y'all don't know who Rondell Hunt is, look him up on YouTube and Instagram. Crazy strong, but he always talks about percentages of being locked in. It's nearly impossible to be 100% locked in. Thing happens, life happens. Unless you're making millions of dollars of doing the thing that you do, there are things that happen. Like you're gonna have family issues, you're gonna have work issues, you're gonna have things that you just can't, you can't break, and they're gonna keep you from being in as good of a position or as locked in as possible. Now, the number one thing you can control is you can't be consistent. So I will say I haven't missed a training session. I haven't missed a workout. Haven't missed a thing in one of my workouts. I've done everything that I needed to do all prep, and I would say all off season too. I can't remember a day where I didn't get something done. So being consistent is the number one thing you can control. So I will say that my percentage of locked in is pretty high, and it's better than it's been, but you can always be better. Obviously, it's not 100% locked in, and that's my goal in life. Like, I just want to be as consistent and as locked in as possible, because I have these big dreams and goals to do things, and they're not going to get done if I keep saying, what if. So with all that being said, training was really good today. I also hit 187.5 on bench for 3 singles. That was about the same as squat. I think it moved visually, it looked really good, but ultimately it could have felt better. But I'm not mad at it. I wasn't on a combo rack. My bench feels significantly better when I'm on a combo rack rather than just a regular bench. So it's not the end of the world, but we're all gonna be good, and I'm gonna lock in and get the rest of this weekend. I do want to do a video. I think I might do one tomorrow, because actually school got canceled. School got canceled because of cold weather tomorrow. It is supposed to be like 24 degrees here tomorrow, and it did rain all day today. So, I'm not driving to pick you until Tuesday. So, which is supposed to be colder Tuesday, but it's not supposed to rain the rest of the week. So I'm actually gonna get my training here tomorrow. So I might do a short little video, but I'm gonna have that posted before this is posted, because Alex is editing today's video, and then we're gonna record next Sunday. So, but anyway, this is a big gap session. I don't know how much of this I'm gonna keep in the video, but if you stayed all the way to the end, let me know. Comment below. I appreciate everybody that watches these videos. I see y'all. I appreciate y'all for supporting the channel. This has been huge. Alex has been a blessing. And I just want to keep this growing and going up from here. So with that being said, guys, I'm fixing to be back at the house, and I got a grub. I'm behind on calories. So I'll catch y'all later.